Alrighty, what have we got this time? So, I don't really like playing a hunter, but I think priests are weak in arena. Druids can be okay. I'd be tempted to play the hunter because they can be incredibly fast and incredibly dangerous, but it's placed right into my weak area, which is those 2, 3, 4 turns. So it might be educational, but it won't be very successful. Whereas the druids can get some nice stuff, as we just saw in actual fact in game 6. Let's go with the druid.
You were right to awaken me.
Alrighty then. So young priestess isn't bad. Saboteur's not bad, 3/4 for 3. Let's pull my crypt sheet up. Let's have a look-see here. Druid. Saboteur is there. Young priestess would be so much better with stealth. She'd be awesome with stealth. She doesn't have stealth, so I don't think she's really worth it. So I think Saboteur, 4/3 body for 3, you can't really complain with that, can you? Mounted Raptor, so we certainly haven't seen any dragons. It's a bit early for dragons. Quite like Mounted Raptor, but it's a 2-drop. This comes over the death rattle. Alright, we'll take Mounted Raptor. I think it's difficult to resist the swipe. Amani Berserker. Mark of Nature. Yeah, okay. Let's see what Mark of Nature rates on these cards. I mean, to be honest, Mark of Nature looks okay to me, but it's not scoring very high, but it's a bit expensive with 3 mana. Amani Berserker is a nice card, I quite like that one. The Earthen-Ring Farseer is also not a bad option. It's a useful little trick. The deck's 3s at the moment. I don't know, I think I'm leaning towards the Earthen-Ring Farseer. Ogre Brutes I really do like. That Pip Fighter is also a good option. There's not a lot of difference between them on the tier list. I mean, I'm quite happy, to be honest, I'm quite happy to build a whole lot of 4/4s into my 3 range here. Ventrico Mercenary would also help into quite a cheap deck. River Crocodilus is a bit meh. Gilblin Stalker isn't bad. Crib Sheet says Gilblin's better than Ventrico. It is a 2-drop. Ventrico probably isn't going to help a deck with quick minions. I could end up stuck with it. That's to be able to play. I think maybe I'll take the Goblin. Yeah, I don't know the answer to this one. Interested in your view. Bloodsail Raider. Yeah. Weapons. I think the card draw will probably be more useful for this deck. Mech Warper, that's ironic, so I just got my ass handed to me by those. That 5/4 Taunt is not, it looks expensive to me. I don't particularly rate that card. Mech Warper, I think, is probably worth it, although we don't have any mechs at all, do we, at the moment? No, it's probably the best option nonetheless. I'm unlikely to get a weapon that's going to make any difference to the Bloodsail. So they're both 2/3 bodies for 2. 2 rather than a 5-4 for 5. It is a taunt. I might get some mechs. Unstable Ghoul. There's a mech. It's actually not a bad mech. Innovate is also very nice. That would be extremely nice in this deck in the opening hand. But I quite like that mech. Mad Bomber. I mean, that's dangerous, isn't it? 6 damage, random. It could really screw people over. But it could screw me over as much as anybody else. Angry Chicken is an awesome card. I love Angry Chicken. It's not so angry with Cranberry though, so that's a concern at Christmas time. I think it has to be in the Mad Bomber, but I may regret it. Mechanical Yeti is actually just a good solid body. I think I'll just take that. Alright, those are quite some options. Savage Combatant is a nice 4-drop, but the Defender of Argos is a card I just happen to think is underrated. I think it's a really solid card. I actually quite like the Questing Adventure as well, to be honest, but it's not as good as the other two. I mean, it's a +1/+1 buff, so if you put it between 2, and one assumes you do, then it becomes a 4/5 versus a 5/4, and it gives some taunt. But the Inspirability kind of turns you into a 3-weapon killing machine. I don't know on this. I think the Savage Combatant probably what plays to the slightly faster deck we're building. I think Wild Growth is probably the right play here. Let's just check. Naturalize, I think, is not a great card, to be honest. It's just too expensive for the 2 cards to the opponent. Mark of Nature, as I say, I do quite like Mark of Nature, but it's not... It is expensive at 3. Maybe I'll take the Wild Growth, but I don't know. I'm not... I just think there's better things to do on the second turn in Arena. I'm really tempted to Mark of Nature here, I really am. Jeweled Scarab, I do like Jeweled Scarab, it's a beast. Oh, I always like Raven Idol. That can really drop some crazy batshit stuff in. What's the scores on these bad guys? Raven Idol is 62 on the sheet. I'm using HearthstoneArena.com, HearthArena.com if you're interested. Micro Machine is okay. Jeweled Scarab is 56. So the Raven Idol is cheaper, but it doesn't have the one on my body. Who cares? I think we'll go with this one. Dragonlang Mechanic drops another body. Silent Knight is only a 2, but it's got Divine Shield. And that is a big wall, but it's just a big wall. Although it might be quite nice with the Mark of the What's-It thingy. That'd make it quite nice. Then it becomes a 5/7 for 7. Yeah, I can see why Mark of Nature's not a very good card. Be that as it may, I think we'll go with the Silent Knight into this deck for a bit of stuff and shield. Okay. So this 5/4 taunt for 4 is basically the same as the, what is it, the Booty Bay Bodyguard or something, which is a 5/4 taunt for 5. So this is okay. I quite like the Evil Heckler, to be honest, and it would go nicely in this deck. But the Sentinel is also quite nice. I want to lead a slightly faster deck. I'm going to take the Heckler. Another Wild Growth. And the other 2 are pretty poor. So if you're sitting there going, oh my god, you should have taken the Wild Growth, then I'm going to take the Wild Growth, I think, because that Novice Engineer is... Actually, Actually, you know, I say that, but card draw in this kind of deck with some relatively low mana curve, nothing really big on the end. A bit of card draw is not a bad idea, and I haven't really got anything at top end to help my WoW growth. I think I'm going to take the Novice Engineer. Captured Yoremonger. Okay, so Dragonkin Sorcerer has some synergy with my mark. But what are the odds? I've got nothing else to trigger to it. I mean, it's not a bad card. It's not massively better than the Captured Yoremonger from a stat to mana cost perspective. I haven't got anything big. I suppose I should take something big just in case I'm going to need it. Which I probably will. Alright. None of that really inspires. I suppose Claw's not too bad. Yeah, it's kind of free removal, especially with the hero power. Grimscale Oracle is awesome, but on this occasion I'm going to pass. Starfall. Yeah, that's not too difficult for me. I think I'm going to have to take the Starfall on that one. Emperor Cobra I quite like. Little Exorcist can be quite good, but the Starfall is just so much better. Ooh, look at all the pretty blues. Alrighty, we've already seen Questing Adventurer and Young Priestess. Master Jouster is not going to do brilliantly well in this deck, to be fair. It's quite low cost. It's not going to get its body pumped with its Taunt and Divine Shield very often. Mind you, I had it in the previous deck and it never fucking happened. Questing Adventurer is actually probably going to do better in this deck. So I'm going to take that one, because it's relatively low mana curve. I could play quite a few cards off the back of that. Starfire. Just do a shitload of damage and have another card as well. It's difficult to say no to that. Another Raiden Ival. Druid of the Claw. And Silverhand Regent. Druid of the Claw is really good. I mean, it's really good. I think I prefer it to Silverhand, to be honest. Six cards left. Mukla's Champion. I don't particularly rate a 4/3 body for 5, but with a number of small minions in this deck, a number of 2s and 3s and stuff, could be quite good. That's assuming something's still around. I mean, we can afford a bit of something a bit more expensive. You know, effectively it is a 7-drop. Silvermoon Guardian's an option, but I think I'm going to go with this one. Lord of the Arena. Silverhand Knight. Silverhand Knight is the choice, I think. Six, 6 for 5. 6, 5 for 6. Well, the Argent Horse Rider is nice, but I know what you'll say. I'm not going to be holding dragons. Yeah. Shame I didn't see a few more mechs after that little bit of a mech flurry at the beginning middle section there. I quite like Wolf Rider. Sort of goes with the deck. I think I'm going to take that. Tomb Spider. Oh look, another mech. A little bit late for that. Got 1, 2... 3, 4. Got 4 mechs. 4 mechs is not a small number. I mean, it's certainly not a big number. I think the Tomb Spider's a better option. It's quite pink. Naga Sea Witch, I do not get that card. Molten Giant. Yeah, it's not bad. I haven't really got anything to go with the Echoing Ooze. I've got 1 card that can buff it. I think, to be honest, it's going to have to be the Molten Giant. Shame. It's not a Sea Giant. Alright. There we go. Let's see how that works.